everybody, it's Team Jim back with another deck profile of the winner of the Freedom Cup in Austria in Pregarten, Florian Gönner. So,
Hi.
what did you do and what did you play?
I won a tournament today. I won a Nintendo Switch. Sadly, I can't show it off. It's sold already. We played 7 rounds of Swiss and 3 rounds of Top Cuts, and I went 10-0 in total, so undefeated in Swiss, and then I won the Top Cut as well.
So let's get into the deck.
Yep. So before I go into the profile, just big shout out to Jose Santiago, because this is we basically more or less stole this deck from him and his team, because we thought it made sense, and it's very similar actually. But I'll quickly walk you through it. You have the Brave engine, as usual, the 6 cards, and the one-offs and the Foolish. We were debating on if we would be playing 60 cards or not. We effectively decided against it, because the problem with 60 cards is that you are increasing your deck count in order to draw the bricky cards less often, but then you have the problem that you draw your broken cards, which is like Right or Aquamancer, less often as well, and only draw like cards like Unexpected Die and E-Tally, which don't do necessarily a whole lot on their own. Whereas this card or this card, I mean, it's just broken. We don't have to elaborate that. Then we have the Tenyi engine. It's like 3 of every Tenyi and then 3 Vessel. Like Vessel is so broken. It's crazy. The thing is, instead of E-Tally, Vessel is better because it gives you not only 1 tuner that you can special summon, but also you get access to the Ashuna that you need later on in your combo to go for the big board. Basically, it opens up more lines of play that would otherwise not be possible, except for hard drawing it. Because you want it more early in your combo usually, meaning special summoning it and not using it at the end of your combo if you don't happen to draw Basil Rose Shoot. So yeah, that was pretty good. We sided out actually the Vessel and one of the Ashunas and one of the Adaras because we needed space for additional hand traps when going against combo decks going second. But otherwise I wouldn't change that. It's just too strong. Then we have the Rose Dragons. That's also pretty standard. Nothing to talk about here. And then we have like our bricky cards. Yeah, I mean, those are the standard cards. This is the most broken card in this deck for some reason. You just end on Hulk, they give you Ash or I don't know, Valor or something, and then you tag out into Shooting Riser, and then you just summon this, and sometimes it's just enough. I somehow won against an Eldritch player with having 35 of my main deck cards banished, and for some reason this was all due to snow, and then I won that game. It was just...
Did you miss the Long Yon?
Actually not. I think it's just a greedy card. You only want to draw it if you have another worm or a Swordsoul card in your hand, which you don't want to draw kinda, except for the Tenyis. And for the Tenyis, you much rather want to summon them for them being a level 7 instead of discarding it for Long Young effect. And also your combo is typically pretty safe anyway, because you can like open up with one of these and then you have Griffon anyway, so yeah, not really a point. And it's just another brick. And then also we played hand traps, of course. We need hand traps in this deck because you want to have a chance going second against the combo decks and not just all the scoop and hope that you draw something game 3. It's pretty much the same lineup. Yeah, nothing too special. The thing is, Ash is a little bit worse compared to the other ones when paired with Nibiru, because it's not a guaranteed Nibiru wipe, whereas if you have Ogre or Valor, you can just Ogre or Valor their Griffin, and then yeah, you just nib them and hopefully everything is gone.
So 43 main deck cards, right?
Yeah, it's 43. As I've mentioned, we don't want to go up to 60 because like the odds of drawing your really good cards just become so slim that it doesn't really warrant it. And I don't think it's too bad having cards like Snow or the Deskbot or whatever in your hand. As long as you can play with the rest of your hand, it's completely fine. For the extra deck, I mean, this is 15 extra deck cards that are as standard as it gets, and I don't think you can change a single card in here except for maybe one. We have like the 2 Monks that you need because the second one is sometimes necessary when you go into a grind game after your first turn. Then you have the 2 Hulks. like in theory you would only need one, but there is like a combo line where you do a double Hulk play and then you use both of these to go into Aurorodon, make 3 tokens, and then you use your Ashuna to special out one of the Adaras, and then you basically have combo just like that as well. It happens when you have a weird number of monsters and of tuners and levels, and you can't really get into anything except for Hulky Fibrex. Then we have the level 10s, Chenging. I love this card, it's just so broken against Phantom Knights. Then the Floor is pretty standard, and then we played this guy who I won't butcher his name now. I think it's Xi Xing Longhyang or something like that. Yeah, in theory he's really good. I didn't even summon him once. He would also be nice if we're going into timeout situations, but this never came up, so it's whatever. Then we have level 8 synchros, we have the Xixiao, we have the Baxia, and the Tenyi Ogre, yeah.
Draco Berserker.
Draco, yeah, whatever its name is. Yeah, basically you need a generic level 8 synchro, which is this guy in this case, that doesn't need burn monsters as the non-tuner requirement. Sometimes to trigger off your stuff to get stuff in the graveyard, and it's also nice because you can use Snow to banish the trap, and then you have a free Draco Berserker, which is nice. And then we have the Yazi, which is needed for combo. Then we have the Shooting Riser. This is mainly there to ditch Snow or to mill in the Aquamancer, the Enchantress, to have follow up for the next turn. And then we have one Formula and one Arclight. Like if you go into Aurorodon and you have Ashuna, you like use the Despot and one of the tokens to make this, and then you go into Yazi with the Ashuna effect and your 2 tokens, and then you have combo as well. And for the side deck is a little bit weird because we had to check how many slots we have for siding out stuff, and then basically build the side deck around that. We have 4 additional hand traps, 3 impermanents, and 3 gamma. The idea is this is nice against prank hits, even when drawn as a 6th card. It's also like a pseudo Veiler more or less, so it's like more interruptions. The hand trap lineup of I think 11 hand traps plus this should in theory be enough to see it, hopefully 2 of them going into game 3 against the combo deck, or game 2. But yeah, I don't know, I think it was alright. I wouldn't play anything else over the impermanence. There was a little bit of theory around this, if this would be better, or Bell, or Droll, or Lancia, or whatever, and this is just too flexible and basically covers all of the matchups equally well. So I think, yeah, we sided with this, and Gamma is just too broken going second, so there's no reason not to play it. And then we have the one collector that for some reason everybody is playing, because you can send it with Shooting Riser. It would be nice to have slots for more token collectors, but instead I kind of played one Called by the Grave because I had like one slot that I thought could be anything, and I thought it would be nice to have a one-off, so I played this, and also it's nice against Scythe and DP. And then 3 Twin Twisters because no Cosmic, because for some reason people side in Lancia against this deck, which is really bad, and I don't want to have a dead card in my hand that otherwise would be really strong. So I prefer to have like the Twisters, especially against the Full Wonder Reese matchup against Prank. It's really nice. Yeah, and at our regionals there's a lot of back row decks usually, so it's always good to have this. And since the engine is so well versed in dealing with back row anyway, you don't necessarily need more than 3 back row hate cards, because you have your Draco back, you have your Vishuda effect, there is Yazi that pops back row that can't be targeted, there's like so many options. And the most broken card I think in this entire side deck is triple anti-spell. I can't believe how strong this is. If you start out, we typically side out the Nibiru's for anti-spell in the most matchups. Because if you flip anti-spell in standby phase, there is and their hand is like full of spells, you basically gain a turn, and if they interrupted your Hulk, you just tag it out into Shooting Riser, then you get Snow, and those 2 make another Hulk. So like you play again, and they're still locked with their cards, and then you use Baxia and Yazi and spin all of their stuff, and then you win anyway and just OTK them. Overall, I think it performed really well. There's not a single thing I would change for the moment, I think, except for maybe the Called by the Grave. I don't know, it was very random, I never drew it. And in theory, you could also cut this guy, but I don't necessarily know what you would replace it for. Maybe Xiaofeng was an idea. If Drytron is a deck that is very popular in your locals area, you could consider that. But other than that, yeah, it was good.
So any additional shoutouts or something you want to say?
Yeah, shoutouts as usual to the best team in Europe and in the whole wide world, Team G.Y.M. Shoutouts to Peter, who basically helped me build the deck. We decided on this one yesterday evening after some mental breakdown on what to play. But yeah, other than that, yeah, shoutouts of course to our local store and to all of the people from the Upper Austria and general Austria and Germany community.
Thank you. Bye.